Hello family. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy E back with another video. But this video gonna be the video that I shot 2 weeks ago. I did a live with a brother named Uncle Jay. You can see him on the screen right there. I did a live with Uncle Jay, and he lives in Colombia. He lives in Cartagena, and we just had a conversation on his live, and I just wanted to share this with you guys, so you guys can understand, right? I'm trying to get this across many platforms. I'm going to be on another call, another live coming up here soon, maybe next week or the week after. I don't know. I just got the text message today, and there's going to be a bunch of other people on that live also. But I'm going to share this with you guys since I was like, you know what, I'm going to put it on the channel. I'm not going to put it on the channel, but I mean, it is what it is. So guys, watch. Let me know what you guys think, and we're going to go from there. So thanks. Enjoy. Like, share the content, right? There's gonna be some funny stuff in here. There's gonna be some interesting stuff in here. I'm gonna be cursing on this stuff too. So hey, it is what it is. I'm a human being, and like I say, it's gonna be hilarious. But enjoy it, guys.
Hello and welcome to the show. Welcome to the life of Unc Jay. Today we have a special guest in the building. He's going to come on. He's going to talk to you guys about some finance. We met through our YouTube channels, and I decided to invite him to the show so you guys could get some game on finances and getting your stuff together so that you can travel. Also, I want to tell guys that we are back and live with Cartagena Unplugged Experience. So if that's something that you would like to join, definitely hit us up, and we'll approve your request if you're good people. Okay, we're going to bring our guest up and get to it. Okay. There he is. There he is. What's going on, man?
Hello, man. How you doing, brother?
Oh man, I can't complain. I can't complain. I can't complain at all, brother. I can't complain at all. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good. It's been busy today, and luckily you changed the time because my boss also changed our meeting, so it just worked out perfectly. So yeah.
I kind of figured that, I was like, you know what? He said he was going to be available for 3 o'clock, but I'm like, nah, I'll give him an extra hour just to get it together.
Yeah.
So let's
I mean,
start it off, man, by you introducing yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background.
well, I mean, so it's kind of tricky, right? Because
Okay.
I'm an IT guy, so
Okay.
I work in cybersecurity. I've been doing that part for about 12 years, going on
Okay.
14, between 12 and 14 years. I'm not good with numbers when it comes to years. Everything seemed like yesterday to me.
Right.
It's not
Right.
so
Right.
fast. So I get that mixed up all the time. So between 12 or 14 years, I've been in cybersecurity, but I've been in IT for pretty much
Right.
almost 30 years. It seemed like it's been a long time. But
Okay.
you know, I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I live in Colombia. I live in DR. So I live in those three places right now.
Wow. All three?
Yeah, but
Nice.
but I spent most of my time in Colombia. So I spent 6 or 7 months in Colombia. I do
Okay.
a 1 or 2 months in the DR, and then the rest of the time I'm in the US.
Nice. Nice. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So where'd you go to school?
So okay. So like I said, I'm African. I
Okay.
was I was born in West Africa. My family worked both government,
Okay.
and we traveled to different embassies from some after some time, working, and then
Right.
but I grew up pretty much in Africa. And then when I got to high school, I ended up in the U.S.
Oh wow.
Um, so yeah, so I spent high school here, and you know I went to school in Arkansas. Philando Smith College is a black college there, and then but
Uh-huh.
I got my bachelor's from AIU, the online university,
Wow.
um, back in 2021, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
So,
man.
I
That's
mean, yeah,
awesome.
2001. See, I said 2001. I'm saying 2021,
Right,
2001.
right, right.
So
Yeah,
it's
sometimes those
been
dates be kind of running together. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I was definitely interested in getting you on here because I think a lot of brothers need to get turned on to basically getting their money right. I mean, right now I'm doing some things here in Colombia with the housing and Airbnbs and things like that. But I tell you what, man, I wish I would have had a guy like you when I was in my 20s, man. So I would be a millionaire right now. You know what I'm saying?
I feel the same way. I'm in my apartment right now in Cartagena, right? So this is
Okay.
my apartment. I own this
Wow.
unit here, and I bought it last year, almost a year ago, around the same time last year. I bought it.
Okay.
Um, but I got into this by accident. So at one point I lost my job, and then I started day trading, right?
Okay.
But day trading, especially when you have a small account, you have to sit in front of the computer all day.
Wow.
And in the beginning, it was okay because that's what I do. I work security IT, so I'm in front of the computer all day. But after a
Hmm.
while, you get burned out. And then when COVID happened, they cut my salary by 50%. So
Man.
that was the entire company. They cut the salary by 50%, or you can leave the job.
Mm.
So you got a choice, right? You either leave or they cut your salary by 50%. So I took the 50%, and then I was like, you know what? I need to do something else. So just in case this happened again, I don't have to worry about money. And I
Right.
started looking online, but how can I make money? And the online stores, all that stuff, but that required time. It can be passive, but it required time. Plus, you have to buy something to sell to somebody else to make money, right? So I'm like, no, I
Okay.
don't need that. I need something that I can have full control over. So during that time, our company they just started doing 401k. We didn't have 401k before that. They just started doing 401k. So when I opened the 401k, they wasn't paying a match. They wasn't matching.
Okay.
So, but still, I was like, well, I make certain amount of money, so I need to put that money in there because that's tax at the end of the year. You don't have to worry about that as your to the principal, the net, because it's deducted from the taxes. But I was like, I need to put the difference that I would add to that that money somewhere else. So I found a guy online that was doing brokerage, and I checked him out, and he worked out. So after that, I was like, you know what? I did that for a year, but then in the beginning, I wouldn't check. I would just give my statement. I'd be like, okay, I made $100 this month. The next month, I made 200 or whatever. And then after a while, I started looking at it. I'm like, every time this dude buys something, he charged me $1. Every time
Right.
he sells something, he charged me $1. So some month I'll be in a loss because he would buy and sell stuff, right? And I was like, you know what? I need to start doing it myself. So I started looking into how I can do it myself. And then I just start trying. I look at the dividend kings, dividend aristocrats. These are companies that have been paying dividends for over 20 plus years, some of them 30 plus years,
Hmm.
and they always increase dividend. But those usually they're between 1%, 2%, 3%, very low income dividend. So I started with that for the first year, and then as it went by, I started making more money than the guy that was managing my portfolio.
Wow.
Right. Literally, I was making more money because when I look at what he was buying and selling, all that was deducting from me. So I'm paying him a percentage to buy and sell. But when I
Exactly.
did it myself, I wasn't paying anybody. So all that money coming back to me. And I wasn't selling, I was just buying. So after a while, I transferred all my money from him into a separate portfolio. And he was managing my Roth. So all that money I had in there for that couple of years, I moved that to myself and I started managing that money. So, and it just grew and grew and grew. So I think when my daughter, uh, she just turned 18, well, she's gonna be 19 in November.
Hmm.
When she got into college, initially she and her mom playing all this stuff. I didn't have nothing to do with it. It kept me out of it. And then when she went to university, now daddy got to pay tuition. And I was like, okay, well, we can get student loan. Tuition is like 20 something K a year. So I was like, well, in 4 years, you're gonna be spending over $100,000 just to go to school. And I tried to convince her to go to another school, and she said, no, I'm not going to no other school. I want to go to the University of Houston. So that's where she went. And then I was like, okay, so how do I help her pay this money back, even if she get a loan? So even though I've been doing dividend investment, I was like, I need to do more of a risk, higher risk, and
Right.
start investing in higher risk dividend. So I think about a month ago, my portfolio was down by like $9,000. I have two portfolios. That's not my retirement portfolio, but just regular portfolio. And they were down about 9,000. That's when I started making videos regularly, because before I'll make one video, but when it got down to 9,000, and I was like, I need to buy, but I can't buy because I don't have money. I didn't have no more money to buy. I was tapped out. So I was like, well, what do I do? I said, you know what? It's risky, but I added margins to my account. So when I did margins, at that time, I think I was bringing in maybe close to, between both accounts, close to 20-some thousand a year, which is more than enough.
So just so that the people, because I know a lot of guys on here probably don't even know what that means. Could you explain what margins are?
So margins is like a loan without a credit check, right? So basically, if you have $100, the bank or the brokerage, some brokerage will give you 4 times, some will give you 1 time, some 2 times.
Okay.
The amount of money you have. So, or they will give you, maybe if they don't give you the 400%, they might give you 70 or 80% of what you have. So if you have 100, it will give you another 75. So in my case, I had both accounts. One was like 80,000, 84,000, and the other account was like 110, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So between both accounts, I got almost $200,000 in margins.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? Hey, if push comes to shove, all they can do is sell what I already have. I mean, what the margins cover, and I still gonna be making enough money to live outside of outside the U.S., which is, like I said, 24,000 is more than enough a year. I don't have to work for it. I don't have to do nothing for it. I just get up, check my account, and move money and pay my bills. So I was like, well, I'm gonna take this risk because I gotta pay this girl tuition, or she, So this all this started for my daughter. I was like, I gotta do this. So of course, I started investing in UMass, Defiance. Now I used to do that. I used to invest in them before,
right?
But I wasn't buying $20 worth of higher yield portfolio.
Right.
Buying something, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 that will pay me in a year, will pay me maybe 2,000 for each one.
Right.
And then from less than 24 days, my portfolio went from receiving 24,000 a year to where I'm at now as of today. I think about 75,000 a year.
Wow. So that's pretty much just dividends.
Yes, that's dividends. So, and the good thing about dividends, it's a slower process. But let's say if you buy like a Tesla, right?
Okay.
If a Tesla goes up, if you need money, you have to sell Tesla. Then you take the money to buy whatever you need to buy. Right. In my case, I don't have to sell nothing. My principal stays the same. Now the stock can go up in value or go down in value, but every month they pay me. I'm generating close to $6,000 a month.
Right.
Now, so, and I talk about this on my channel also. Let's say you live in Colombia. You can live, if you spend more than, I think, 11 months out the year, you get the expat credit. So if you make,
I didn't know that.
If you make 100, I think it's 124, 125,000.
Okay.
You don't pay taxes on that money.
Man, message. Hey, to all
so,
you guys.
If you guys don't believe me, y'all can look it up.
This guy's giving you guys free game right now. Free game.
Yeah, you can look it up. If you don't believe me, you can look it up. Like I said, that you pay no taxes. Plus, let's say if you you live in the U.S. and you get dividend, qualified dividend, and you live it off of it, up to, I think it's like 47 $45,000 per individual. If you're single, you don't pay no taxes on that dividend. Now, the average taxes is between 15 to 20% based on that. But if you're single and retire and living off of that, you're collecting that money with no taxes. So, I mean, so when I figured that out, I was like, man, my boy, because I used to work in Colombia. I worked in Colombia for 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to work. I mean, well, let me clarify. My company that I work for, I used to come here every quarter because I'm director of cybersecurity. I used to come here every quarter, and it was just a vacation for me. But I would come every quarter, talk to a couple of people, my team, take them out to eat. Sometimes I would take the entire team from out here, like 50, 60 people. We'll go out, feed them, just treat them nice. So I used to do that every quarter. And then I was like, man, the more I came, I was like, I need to find an apartment here. So when I come, the apartment is in my name, but my company writes my receipt, so my company pays me to stay in my own apartment. Don't tell nobody that,
but hey, man, hey, it's out there. The cat is out the bag. No, man, the cat is out the bag.
But yeah, but I mean, it's not like I'll break the law. It's legal shit. I'm not doing nothing illegal. It's all legal.
It's all legal,
right? So of course, and like I got this apartment. I got another apartment in another city. Where my girl live with my daughter.
Okay.
And it's like $480 a month. Now in Cartagena, that apartment will be about $700 a month.
Because now, what town is this that you're in?
It's called Villavicencio. It's a smaller city with about 500,000 people. But it's not a touristy place. So very few people know about it. Very few people go there. But that's why
Cartagena is a lot of people don't know this, but Cartagena is like one of the most expensive cities in Colombia. So shout out to you. So the guy, man, he's telling you guys what his expenses are here in Cartagena. Now you would think this kind of shows you that the people that have it don't necessarily spend it. So you're not out here trying to ball out of control. You're out here, kind of just living a simple life, man. I love it. I'm kind of in the same situation, not the same situation, but I can definitely afford to live a little bit bigger than what I do. But man, look, the place is paid for. I'm good. I'm content. You know what I'm saying? But I love doing things like this kind of out the box. And thank you, the 18 people that's in here. Please hit the like button. This is my first live, so I appreciate you guys rocking with me. And
there you go, Rico. Rico, put in the information Rico put the information in there. So
absolutely. But I'm just trying to just do something a little bit different. We already know about the girls and all that other stuff, but let's talk about how we can get our money right so that we can live a better life when we get close to retirement. Or even for you young guys, man, you can get your money right now. And like I say, in your 30s or 40s, you totally bill free and living in another country. So I love stuff like this. So I thought it was very interesting to bring Edwin on because I saw his YouTube channel and I've never seen, there's a lot of people that like they're capping on the internet, but he was actually showing his portfolio and I was like, wow, you know what I mean? And then when you kind of had like, am I a millionaire? And I was like, that kind of intrigued me. So I was like, man, let me get this guy on because I think that it's a lot of information that you could pass on to the brothers, man, so that they can get their money right and get in a better situation because we all like more money. So I'm all for this kind of talk. You know what I'm saying? I mean, other stuff we gonna get to that stuff, in future broadcasts. But for now, I wanted to talk about this. So go ahead on.
But in my recent videos, I think the last video I made, I talk about guys. If you say I'm gonna travel 4 or 5 times a year,
okay,
cut that down to 3 times a year. Invest 2 of those trips. In the next 5 years, you're gonna have over $100,000 sitting in the bank.
Right. Wow.
Because the stock market grows on annual by 10%, but overall, it's grown over 70% in the from start.
Mm.
So somebody's making some money.
Definitely.
Somebody's making some money. So what's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with me that I can make some money, and I
Right.
can be willing. You know what I'm saying? And like I tell people all the time, I got another channel where I do about my actual life and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I don't make a lot of videos on that channel. I do make videos every now and then, and I'm just starting to do that. But I don't really. I mean, that channel already it show people what I do in my house, what I travel, stuff like that. But I'm not really giving people anything.
Right.
I can talk about, yes, I'm making money. I got the chicks and all that stuff, but that's not really giving anything.
Exactly.
You
I
know,
mean, this is you
so
definitely dropping jewels for a lot of guys I know. I mean, I don't really know much about it. I mean, I've had 401ks and I've had mutual funds, and even my daughter. I mean, to be honest, I wish I would have met you many years ago. So my daughter, she ended up getting what is that? Salmonella poisoning.
okay,
So I was able to sue on her behalf, and so they offered it. And at the time, she was 4. She's 18 now,
okay,
and they made us put it into a trust fund.
right,
And basically, like, she only probably made $40,000 over all those years in interest. You know what I mean?
right. You probably
And I mean, it's
like
a
a one.
nice jump start, but man, so what I did was I told her, I said, look, don't spend that money because you don't really need it. So let's just reinvest it into something else. So now she's in more of something that's kind of more riskier, but she's young, so she can afford the
Right.
ups and downs. So what
I
would
mean,
your suggestion be to a person 19, 20, 21, just starting off life?
so I mean, so the goal is to motivate them,
Right.
right? So like I said, dividend as a whole, the position that's very low interest return, right? Yield,
Okay.
1-2% yield, like the Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, um, SCHD, some of the Vanguard positions.
Uh-huh.
The yield are lower, right? But let's say if you look at Chase, JP Morgan Chase, they have
Hmm.
JP and some other higher yield. When I say higher yield, it's more than the norm. They're paying up to 8 up to 10%
That's a
yield.
good percentage.
Right. And so those are dividend. So every month, and those pay monthly,
Hmm.
except for SGHD, they pay quarterly. So every month, you're gonna see. Let's say if you invested a set amount of money into the one share is like $50. You're gonna get 10% of that every month. Okay.
Mm.
So 10% of whatever you invest, it could be a dollar, $2, whatever it is,
Hmm.
but you're gonna get 10% of that money back every month. So if you don't
So,
touch that money, and the stock is gonna grow. Now some of the stuff they're risky, right? I'm gonna get to that, but JP is gonna grow, so they might go another 3% or 4%. Plus, you're getting a dividend.
hmm
So, but you don't need to sell it. You're just collecting the dividend, and you can reinvest the dividend. And that's why I use that tool to show when you reinvest the dividend for 10 years.
hmm
It will tell you, say, well, if you reinvest this $3 or $4 or $5, because you invest $1 today, the next month now you got $2 extra to invest.
hmm
You got $2 extra to invest, right? Oh,
hmm
let me fix this. So in the following month, you got $3 plus what you already have. So if you buy more positions, that goes up.
hmm
So on average, usually you don't see like you're ready making a goal until you hit that 100,000 mark. Because if you make
Mm.
1%, it's like $1,000 of 100, right? So if your portfolio go up 1% in a day, you're making $1,000.
Ooh, I
You
love
see?
it. I love it.
So the reason why I got to 100K so fast, usually it takes people 10 years, 7 years to get to 100K.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I got to 100K so fast, I was deliberate. I got a second job. I worked 2 jobs for 3.5 years. And every time I get paid, I would take 80% from my second job, invest it, and then 20% I go get some pootie tang. You know what I mean? So that 20%, that's what I was having fun with. And then for my other stuff, hey, I was kicking it now. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
My flight. Last year I spent over $24,000 just on flights.
Oh man.
Of course, I have a business, so they're all tax deductible. So that's all written off, you know. And I get the government give me money back from traveling. So, but like I said, right, I'm an old guy. You ain't gotta listen to me.
No, we need to listen to guys like you.
You gotta listen to me.
The thing about it is, I had no idea, man. I mean, I'm sitting back like, and this is not a flex, but I'm like, man, over in one account, I got 100,000 just sitting there, not doing anything. I'm like, bro, you're like making me, oh man, I think I may do to get into this and get that 10% dividend per month.
So for guys who travel all the time, my apartment is right in front of the Palmetto.
Right.
And I've helped multiple guys from Canada, at least 3 or 4 guys, within the last 3 months, that they're like, man, you know, what you do? I said, well, I usually tell people I said I'm retired. Because like, how the hell you retire? You're not that old. They're not be like, well, I work, but my job allowed me to work from anywhere in the world. So technically, I am retired. Plus,
right,
you know, I don't have to be in the U.S. if I don't need to. You know, so, and the one guy I told him about, he's like, man, he was here and he had to leave because he ran out of money. So he's like, but I gotta go home. If he was here, I left, came back when I was redoing my apartment. I left, came back.
Right.
He's one of different places, came back, and he's like, bro, I'm leaving tomorrow. I said, okay. And he's from Canada. So I said, why are you leaving? He's like, bro, I thought it was still cold in Canada. He said, yeah, it's still cold over there, but I gotta go. It was back when it was winter. And he's like, yeah, I gotta go. I said, why? He said, bro, I ran out of money. I said, so what if I can show you a way that you can never run out of money and you don't even have to go back to Canada? He said, yeah, but I work in construction. I do install ACs and all that stuff. I can't get no job here paying ACs. I said, who said anything about a job? You know, I'm like, if you can come and spend 3-4 months here, what if you cut that 3-4 months trip into a multiple 2 weeks trip? A year. Computer. I said, you can do it. So now that brother, he's generating almost $12,000 a month.
Whoa.
Not safety, not crazy. Not doing a UMax is what I do to pay my daughter tuition.
Yes.
On margins. Now that some of those generate 90%, some of them generate 50%, 80%. You know, that's why my portfolio jumped. You know, but I'm only using on one of them. I'm only using. I think about. I'm not looking at numbers right now, so I'm not going to be really accurate. But I'm only using on one portfolio, like $20,000. No, I take that back. $35,000 on one, and the other one I'm using like $40,000. So I'm using less than half of the money they give me to invest. So, and the good thing about margins, if you're getting money back into the account, let's say if you got $100,000 in margins, they're gonna give you maybe $30,000, $40,000 where you can withdraw, pay for whatever you want, do whatever you want, and that don't go against your credit. And you just pay whatever the interest is within your margins. They just tax you and they deduct that money as you make money.
So it doesn't count as like a debt ratio on your credit?
Nope.
I just learned something new.
So it doesn't show up on your credit. So let's say if you have $100,000 sitting there, I would say, you know what? Let's start slow. We go and buy 25K, put into SGSD. SGSD give you like 5%, but it's one of the safest positions out there. Every quarter, you're gonna get back a little bit of money, right? And you can say, you know, I'm not gonna put 25. I'm gonna do 3,000. you can invest in different positions. There got to be a one-on-one. It's not something I can tell you over the phone.
Yeah,
Say, hey,
absolutely,
do this.
Just give
You
us
got to
the
have a
general
one-on-one
idea. Yeah.
conversation. Know what your risk level is,
Yeah.
because like anything, you can lose money. But that's why I tell people I only buy when the market is down. Really.
Okay.
So like yesterday, I wish I did, because today my portfolio went back up. Yesterday, my portfolio was down maybe 2%, but the S&P 500 was down almost 3%.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kicking the ass. Literally, I'm doing better than the S&P 500. I got people that went to school to learn how to do the stuff. You know.
I
So
love it.
and I'm investing in some higher risk stuff. I'm not just investing in Walmart and Target and stuff like that. I'm investing in UMax, and people who know about UMax, they pay dividend, but they do that, that split where they go back and they cut down your stuff. And you have to buy back in. So like I said, it's risky, but I have enough to where I can live in Colombia or live anywhere else in South America, no problem. So I'm like, I can be risky with the other $80,000-$90,000.
So I have a question. So I'm just gonna kind of come from the layman's guy point of view. You know what I'm saying? Because some guys think that this is totally impossible. It's BS. So let's just go with something that I can say is probably achievable for anybody. In Colombia, I would say that you can live a pretty decent lifestyle for about $2,000 a month, paying your rent. If you get one Chico week, So if I needed to have dividends of approximately $2,000 a month, what would you suggest? What would I need to, like, say if the guy's at home, he's like, okay, I got to get my hustle on so I can get to this level. What would you suggest?
So, like I said, it all depends on how much you have to invest. That's the first part.
Right.
So,
but just to get around 2,000 a month monthly coming in.
The amount of money you got coming in, 2,000 a month, that's 24,000 a year. I mean, you can do that safely with about 200K.
Okay.
Right? Safely. That means you go to bed, you don't worry about, they're doing splits and all stuff. But you can do like a yield max that paying you a lot more money. And you can do that with maybe 50K.
Okay.
But there gonna be time where they're gonna do a split, and you can your dividend gonna drop from 2,000 to maybe 1,500 or 1,800. So you got that's something that's the risk that comes with the higher yield.
So
like
to the people that have no clue
what
that is, what is a split? Explain that a little bit.
So okay, like I said, so the split is when the company they have different split. Let's say NVIDIA, right? They did a split where the value of the positions, I think, was like $1,000 something at the time. They did a split to where your one stock would turn into 10. Right? So that's a split. That's a good split. Right. Now they have the reverse split, which is the bad split, where you might have a 50 shares, but in the reverse split, if they do it 3 times or 4 times, you're going to end up with maybe 10 shares from 50.
Wow.
That's a reverse. Now with the higher yield, with the things that pay higher yield, those are very common, because the stock cannot hold its value because they're paying so much. They're paying so much of the money that they make back to the people who own the stock or the ETFs in this case.
Okay. How long have you been traveling to like Colombia, DR, as far as like full time, where you kind of rotated through the different places you have houses?
I say about DR, I've been going there more than 20 years. DR helped me get a divorce.
That'll do it, right?
Peacefully, because I had something to fall back on.
Right.
And something really nice.
Right.
So that, you're like, what, whatever, what you want? Okay, what do I sign?
So
Okay,
was she in the
you know,
States?
well, yes, my ex was in the States. I've been married twice. So
Okay.
my first wife was in college, sophomore
Okay.
year. We got married, and then that lasted maybe a year and a half. And then I got remarried, and that went for a long time
Okay.
before we got
And
divorced.
now, are you married now?
No,
Okay.
I got too much to lose to get married again, my brother.
I love it. I love it.
You know,
We all joke about that, especially when I'm on with Ronan, man. And I got a good one here, but I can't do it again, brother. It's too much of a risk for
no.
me.
And another thing though, I don't know if you know this or not, but if you were a woman in Colombia
Uh-huh.
for more than 2 years, right? That you're kind of married, and she can
Seriously?
get half. You can get half of whatever you got in Colombia.
Oh, wow.
So you need to look into that. I don't
Man,
know if I don't know if you have to
you
be
just
living
taught
together
me
or not.
something.
I don't know if you have to be living together or not, but yeah, it is. That's that. You don't have to put a ring on it here, but over 2 years,
Man,
um, they definitely would get half of your shit when you kick them to the curb. You know what I
that's
mean?
crazy, man. That is
So, and
crazy.
that's why I mean my daughter mom she assumed that I make a lot of money,
Hmm.
but I don't. I mean, I don't really don't live the life of people that have the person that have money because
Hmm.
I don't really give a damn, right?
Right.
When you're broke, you want to show people that you have it, but once you get it, you don't give a shit. I mean,
Nah,
sorry,
you really
I don't
don't.
know if I can use my bad words on this thing,
Nah, you're
but
good, man. And look, I'm not
you know,
monetized yet, so we're
you,
good.
you don't care when you have it because you don't who you trying to impress.
That is true. I mean, I,
You
I
know,
mean, I've seen it all my life where it seems like the brokest people are the ones that have all the fancy shoes, the fancy cars, and all that stuff. Like I tell guys, man, that car note that you're paying six, seven, $800 a month, that's a ticket. That's a ticket overseas once a month. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because a lot of people say they don't have money to travel, but you have money to travel. It's just you got to kind of pick. Do you want that flashy lifestyle in the States, or do you want to see other things? So
and and
yeah,
as you know, the women don't care about what you wear really to an extent.
no,
They don't care
no,
about what kind of you wearing Jordans or you wearing the shoe from Walmart. They don't give a damn
right,
about it. All they care
right,
about is can he take care of me? That's all they care about. They can
right.
go get the nails done, get their hair done regularly, and that's like chump change. I give my girl like $250 a month for allowance, and that's it.
The one here in Colombia,
The one in Colombia, yeah, I give her $250 a month for allowance.
man,
Now
that's that's
I buy
nothing.
all the food. We go to the market, we buy all this food and stuff that have nothing to do with her money, you know. And we got a daughter, so I take care of all my stuff for my daughter. Dude, I spend less than $1,500 a month in Colombia for my expenses.
Man, you can't beat that. So the fellas, I just dropped the link. If you want to come on and you got any questions for my guy Edwin, you're more than welcome to come on the show and chop it up with us and get some of this knowledge. But yeah, you're definitely dropping jewels, man. Like I said, I wish to God, man, I was so ignorant about money back in my younger days. It was like I feel like I'm playing catch up now. Because that's not something that was taught really in school. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
No,
at all. And I think that that stuff is more valuable than a lot of the stuff that they actually teach. I mean, I haven't used that algebra class yet.
no,
You know what I'm saying?
no. And I'm a technical guy. I've never used none of the math stuff. No, I've never
Right?
used any of that. And that part of the reason I named the channel Passport Bro, Dividend Passport Bro.
Okay.
Because if anybody get any sense, they will see they might not understand dividend, but they know what a passport bro is.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
if
That
they start
that
watching
phrase
this
is all
channel,
over the world now.
right? If they start watching the channel, they'll realize, well, this is a different passport bro. It's not the Pookie and
Uh-huh.
the Ray Ray. Now, if my brother's a Ray Ray and a Pookie, I love him too because I need him to get his
Yes.
Pookie and Ray together and understand, bro. It don't take a lot. It take
Right.
time. It takes
Right.
time, but it don't really take a lot.
Wow. Wow. You know what? I mean, that is invaluable information. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody can figure out how to make their money right. That's invaluable information right there.
Right.
Like I said, I wish to God that I had it, and it's time for us to, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, the girls and all that stuff, that's cool, but at the end of the day, you got to have money to travel to get to the girls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I definitely don't knock guys doing their thing. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, it's nice to be able to live here and be comfortable. I don't want guys to just come to Colombia or go to DR and they're starving. You know what I'm saying? Like that's no way to live.
Yeah, I mean, like over here, my apartment is in a touristy area because when I'm not here, it's on Airbnb.
Okay. In Cartagena?
Yes, in Villavicencio.
Okay.
You know, my apartment is not in a tourist area. If my apartment, if you move my apartment from there over here, it'll be $700-800 a month, easy. Because it's in a Stratus 4, Stratus 5 neighborhood. So you know what that is.
Yes.
You know, so it's in a nice neighborhood.
Right.
You know,
and for those that don't know, the Stratus here in Colombia, so they have like, it's from 0 all the way to 6, and 6 being the highest. So if you've been to Cartagena, I'll give you an example of a Stratus 6. That's Castillo Grande. So it's right beside Boca Grande. And that area, man, the thing about Colombians is, so if you have an electric bill, more than likely the 6 is paying the highest, and then it goes down to 0, where some people aren't paying anything. So they kind of try to make the playing field level. But man, I lived in Castillo Grande when I first got here, and that electricity bill, because I got to have my air conditioning. So I was paying like $500 to $600 electric bills, man. I was like, nah, I got to go. So I decided to come out to the barrio. And so out here where I live out south, it's a Stratus 3, but I was like, I have 4 millionaires, like famous Colombian people that live in my townhouse complex. And I'm like, if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. And they blend in well, you know?
No, I mean, like I said, I'm over here in El Laguito right now, which is right down the street from Castillo and Boca Grande. It's in the same area. And, you know, I was going to buy in Castillo, but they didn't do it was like a residential where I couldn't do an Airbnb. People do it there, but I didn't want to have problems later on that I had to stop. And then, so I was like, no, I'm going to buy where I know for sure it's not a problem for me to do the, you know, the Airbnb. So
right. You're taking a chance sometimes. Like for me, I've gotten a chance to know the area, you know, so I was comfortable with making that investment. Plus, so I got the place really cheap. So what I did was, it's a 2-flat. So there's an apartment on the top and there's an apartment on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 5 rooms, but they're all going to have separate showers. It's just like a hotel. Right. So it's going to be 5 rooms at the bottom, and then a whole entire apartment on the next floor. And then the top is going to have like a 10-person jacuzzi, you know, kind of like that'll be the hangout area, you know. And it's halfway between, so Delirium, which is where they moved the club out to the barrio, right? So I'm like the same amount of distance from Androgeno, Delirium, whatever you want to call it, as Central is. So like guys can't really use that excuse, well, I need to be closer to everything. And honestly, all of the people that I've invited to my home, once they come out here, they're like, oh man, I love it out here in the barrio, man. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? Once you get over those fears and, you know, you kind of follow the steps that I kind of tell you how to move. So I always have guys wanting to come back. So I was like, you know what? I felt like I was giving away money because I get so many requests for housing and Airbnbs. And, you know, the thing is, I mean, let's keep it real. They won't guest-friendly Airbnbs. Right. And that's a rarity here. You know what I'm saying? And the hotel's not letting you bring guests in, a lot of them. So I was like, you know what? There's a market for this. So I decided, let me get in this Airbnb game. And I was able to pick it up really cheap, like 180,000 pesos, 880 million pesos, which is like, depending on the exchange rate, 40,000.
That's good.
Yeah. So, and it's going to cost me about 100 million to get it where I want to get it, because I know a construction company. So if any of you guys out there want to invest in Colombia, definitely hit me up at lifeofuncj@gmail.com. And man, look, I can find you a place. I can put the workers in there for the low and get you the local rate. So that's the biggest thing. You got to have your connections and use them.
Right.
So I'm trying to be a voice for my people here in Colombia, and I got a Colombian girlfriend, and her son speaks English. So anything that you need, I can get it done. If you need boats, anything. But I would say, man, right now, Colombia, especially Cartagena and Medellin, it's hot as far as Airbnb. So if you want to get into this real estate game, you know, that's the way to go. And I'll do anything I can do in order to help you guys, man. But man, I really enjoy this kind of talk because you just don't see too many people do it. And I want you to drop your YouTube channel, because let me tell you this, man, the knowledge that I see on your channel, I hate to say it, but if you were a different persuasion, your channel would be crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? So we need to start supporting our own, because a lot of times we get it from other people like, man, he got it, but he ain't dropping no knowledge, or he ain't want to share, how he got his or whatever. This guy's laying out the blueprint, and you can have the same thing too, man. And Damon, shout out to the veterans. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
I just dropped it in the
comments. Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Definitely follow this brother, man, and get a consultation from him, because I'm sure he can help you reach some of your goals.
I don't charge you anything. It's free for now.
Right. Well, hey, that's even better.
I'm not charging anything. It just gotta be, like I said. Let's say if there's somebody want to do something, and I schedule my time, and then you cancel, and you try to redo it, and you have to pay, because then you're wasting my time.
Yeah. No, don't waste the brother's time. But if you're
really serious about,
yes.
I'll help you out the best way I can, and I'm gonna give you the both sides, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm not just telling you, I'm making money.
It's always risk.
Right, it's a risk involved.
I look at it like no risk, no reward. That's always been my thing. Just like I'll be honest with you. Like, so I sold this house, and I'm like, man, the amount of money that I got, I thought about just sitting on it. So I never really took a chance like this with this Airbnb thing. So I called up one of my friends that's a business owner. He owns an electric company, multi-million. And I asked him, and he said, okay, so if you got let's just say $100,000, and you got it in your safe in Colombia, he was like, what good is it if you just go in there, open it up, stick your chest out, you know what I'm saying, and then close it back up for another month? He said, man, money ain't no good unless it's working for you.
Exactly.
And I thought about that, and I said, well, really, in this situation, there's really not a risk. And the reason why I don't think it's a risk, because let's say if I just bought a single family home like I'm living in now, well, you're not making any money off that single family home, but you still got to pay that mortgage. Well, I'm investing in something that definitely is going to make money. And even estimated at half vacancy. Let's just say half vacancy and only the 5 rooms in the top room. I mean, let's say $100 a night, bro. That's $7,500 a month. Just passive income. You know what I'm saying? So, and I look at it, even if I made $1,000 off of a month, it's better than a single family home where I'm not getting anything. It's just, just a bit.
This apartment here, it pays on average. We generate after, and we don't even get fully booked. We might get maybe 15 nights booked,
right?
And we're making at least on average $2,000 a month. That cover all my responsibility in the other city what I live in. So literally, this is like working for me, paying my bill. So even if I don't have money, I don't have to worry about it, because every month I have money coming from here, and I can still come here and spend a week and a half.
And that's only 15 days a month.
15 days
averagely,
a month.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Because it's not cheap. My place is not cheap. My place, I have it's 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. I have 3 queen size bed and a single bed. So usually I cater to families, but if it's better for 2 people than one, because you're gonna be spending close to $100 a night. So if it's 2 people, you have your own bathroom, you have a washing machine. I have American style kitchen. It's a nice spot.
That's exactly what I'm doing in my Airbnb, because that's the way I did when I rehabbed my house. I wanted everything Americanized. and you got to have the private showers and everything. So I was like, okay, this will work out. But let's go to one of the questions. Stray Python, man, thank you for your question. He's asking, ask the guest what he thinks or deals in crypto market.
So I mean, in crypto, I think if I talk about crypto also in my on the channel, but I don't really talk about it a lot. I have close to 100 grand invested in crypto.
Okay.
And mostly in Ethereum and Bitcoin. And I have Shiba. I always had Shiba, so I'm like, until it go to zero, I'm gonna hold on to Shiba. Okay. So I mean, those are the main things I invest in when it comes to crypto. If you just go on your computer and type in crypto bubble, you will see all the different, I'm gonna put that in the chat, all the different crypto and what they make on a daily basis, right? If they're losing money or making money, you can check those out. But let me see if that come through. Okay, I don't know what that came through now. But I mean, you can check it out and see, if you into crypto. But I invest in crypto. But my goal now is to get out of crypto and use that money when the market go back up, of course, and use that money to reinvest into my daughter's portfolio.
Right.
And then once I make enough money, once I start generating enough money to pay her tuition, every month or every semester, then I would stop investing and put that money back into crypto. Because the market go up and down. Like I said, I showed my portfolio, my crypto portfolio on Robinhood. I think it got like 20-something thousand. Other one got like 60-something thousand in there. But I only show one because I'm trying to convert that from crypto into. And crypto is not for the weak of heart because that stuff go up and down, bro. One day it can be 100,000, next day down to $25,000. So, and then if you're like, oh, I gotta go sell, then you're losing your money because you only lose money when you sell. So you gotta be willing.
So basically, you don't panic when the market goes down. You actually buy more.
Yeah, especially the stocks. Yeah, it's the good stuff, not just the crazy stuff.
Right.
If I buy Tesla today, because I have a growth portfolio that just buys stocks that don't pay dividend. It's a very small amount, maybe $19,000-$20,000. But I started with 1,000, and I would buy every time. I would get extra money. Because my goal is to buy all this, the growth stock is to have at least 1,000 shares, right? And it might take a year or 2 or 3 years, but if I can get 1,000 shares in each one of those, and if it go to $1,000, I mean, you do the math, right? It's a done deal. And I started playing what's it called? Is it Peloton? I can't think of the name off the top of my head right now, but I stopped buying that when it was like $12. Now it's like $30-something.
Whoa!
And I got like 300 shares of that, so I still buy the daily cost average. That's why I tell people you only need $1 to start. You only need $1.
You guys hear that? $1. And we all know that we throw money away on just some BS, man. Everybody most people got at least $100 a month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I look at guys, man, that come down here and the amount of money that they're just spending on the chick. Like you say, if you break the vacation down and say, okay, instead of a chick every day here, I'm just going to go with 3. And take that other couple $100 or $300 or whatever you're paying and invest that, man, that could set you up for life where you could possibly be able to live here full time. Like my man, I mean, he says he's got properties in Dominican Republic and Colombia, a couple places. So it's definitely achievable.
So I'm 51. I know you're in your 50s too.
Yeah, I'm 54.
So, I mean, I might got maybe 30 good years left. Well, I can get some good. Pooty time. You know what I'm saying? I gotta take care of myself physically.
I ain't heard that one in a long time. That good pooty time.
So I gotta take care of myself physically to where I can handle that stuff, so I don't have a damn heart attack or nothing like that. But when you don't have to worry about money, I'm telling you, if you don't have to worry about what your next meal is from, or how you're gonna pay your next bill. Dude, I pay my Tesla card note $700 a month for my dividend. I sold my Mercedes, my BMW.
Okay.
And I took that money and invested it. And 3 years later, I'm using that same money from that BMW to pay for my Tesla.
Message.
Right?
Yeah, actually, before I separated from my wife in the United States, we actually bought a Tesla. And I'm gonna be honest, I used to think that was the ugliest car in the world. But then when I got one, I'm like, man, this is dope. You know what I mean? Like, I love, especially California, where the gas is like $6 to $7 a gallon. I'm like, man, this is dope. So I am a Tesla guy. I wish that I could really have one here, but the import taxes, man,
you can buy it here. You can buy
something over here. Huh?
You can, because now I'm thinking about where to take my Tesla to the DR, because since I'm going to be leaving in the next, probably in January, I'm going to be leaving the U.S.
Where is your Tesla right now?
It's in Atlanta right now.
It's in Atlanta. Yeah. See, Colombia, man, they be tripping on those import taxes and everything. Just like even something as simple as Amazon. I tried to buy something on Amazon this morning. The original price was $450. Man, when they did all the taxes and import and everything, that order was like $900. I was like, oh no, So they kind of make it, and that's probably one of the things that I don't like, especially being a military guy. We're used to shipping things. We could buy a car in another country and ship it back to the States. I remember when the Saab was like a good car. You know what I'm saying? And guys were in the military over in Germany, and they would buy a Saab and ship it over to the United States. Nobody knew what it was, and it looked kind of weird or whatever. But now, like, it's a truck that I like. I wish they had it in the States. It's the Suzuki Jimny. It looks kind of like a Mercedes G-Wagon, but
the little small, but it's a little smaller, right?
Yeah. That thing is a beast, man. But
they got it out here.
It's cheap.
They got it out here.
Yeah,
they got it here in Colombia. If you're gonna drive out here, you gotta be able to handle your road rage.
Man, exactly. And it rains so much, you need something off the ground.
Because these folks drive crazy, man.
The rainy season is terrible.
I got my whip up there in Villavicencio. I got a car here too, so not in Cartagena, but in Villavicencio. Yeah.
So how many years you been living outside of the States full time?
Well, I'm not living outside the state full time yet, because I still go home. I still spend 3 to 4 months in the U.S. But I've been doing this for the last 3 years.
You're overseas more than you are at home. So.
Yeah. I mean, so like I said, come January, I have 4 daughters. So come January, I already have conversation with the older girls, and then my 18-year-old, she said, "Dad, you can go ahead and go. My sisters are here. My mom is here.
Right.
Okay. You come home whenever you want to. And, because she's in college, I took her to university. The first day I drop her off, she's like, "Okay, Daddy, you can go home now. I was gonna be there for a week. I want to spend one day in a hotel and rent a car that I pay for. Waste of money." So she don't care. She's like, "You go ahead and go. I'll call you, talk on the phone." And I'm like,
exactly. That's what I do. FaceTime comes in handy. So getting back on track, give us some suggestions for a new guy that he's just trying to get in the game, and he says, "Man, where do I start?"
So, I mean, that's easy. That's easy, right? Because I say start with your retirement. If you're younger, and you got a job that pays you and offer a retirement 401k plan with a match, even if you don't have a match, but with a match, invest. Because if you put 5% and the company ain't gonna put 5%, well, that's 10%, right? And
right off jump,
that's gonna grow, and then you set it to increase maybe 2 to 3% every year, and that's free money. That 5% money is free money. Plus, guys like, well, the money I'm putting in there, and guys, let me tell you something: the more money you make, the more you pay in taxes. Okay, so number like, I make too much money. I gotta pay. That's the stupidest shit. Okay, I'm telling you, not to toot my horn, but the last 3 years, I made over $250,000 a year. I ain't paid shit tax. I ain't paid shit. Excuse me, sorry.
Wow.
I ain't paid nothing in tax because I have a business and everything. I got business credit card. I charge my stuff on my business credit card. My computer I'm using right now to talk to you, that's business stuff. We have a business conversation.
Absolutely.
I got 3 or 4 businesses, and they're all going on my balance sheet.
Hey, they made the laws, but I know they didn't intend for us to use it to our advantage. Yeah. But hey, it's out there.
So if you know, you go on your trip, go get your thing, do your thing, okay. But you can have all the fun you want, bro. I was thinking about. I saw the video where you did when that chick almost drugged you.
Right.
And I was like, okay, you did everything right, but you still almost got.
Yep.
Now thinking about some snot-nosed dude who don't have no clue, running to some nice looking boobies and stuff, and he confused, licking his lips like you see some poop pops like a damn wet dog. It's over for him.
Right. Right.
So you gotta be very, very
the thing
careful.
about it is I've always preached that, like, you got to be careful, especially with the scoping stuff that's going on right now. And like I said, man, I look at it like, dude, I could have been in a situation where I'm not even doing the stream right now. I could be gone.
No, you could be gone.
Just for one bad decision. But there are steps that I always follow when I'm doing something. I'm not condoning it or against it, but I made that decision. You know, I had this, but you know, it all turned out okay. You know, and that's the good part about it. And now I'm at the point where it's like I want to concentrate less on the women and talk about the money first. You know what I'm saying? Because the women, they're gonna be there. That ain't going nowhere. You can hit UNC JAE up and say you come in the Cartagena, we can get that popping anytime. But I think that this is like jewels, and seems like the guys in the chat, they really love the fact that we're sharing this kind of information. And man, I want to. This is, like I said, I'm still practicing. This is my first live stream, and I'm so proud and happy to have this guy on with me. He agreed to come on because I want to put out some good information. Like I said, there's 1,000 YouTube channels showing booties clapping and all that other stuff or whatever. And like I said, I'm not against that. But I also think we need to worry about the brothers getting our money up because, you know, the rumor is that we're just all Pookies and Ray-Rays that come over here. And I wanted to show these guys. This guy, you know, it's millionaires that's out here in Colombia and DR. You know, it's some heavy hitters. And I think that's why a lot of the chicks back at home, man, they're upset because they don't want that. They don't want the good men to leave. You know what I'm saying? They don't mind the Pookies leaving. But when you got guys that, you know, got $1 million portfolio, you know, they're like, okay, man, this is the 10% guys leaving. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so Jay, right? You see that comment you just posted up there right now. You see that comment you just posted there? So I don't know how to.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to respond to that question because that's some of the dumb shit right there I'm talking about.
Why all blacks have 3 or 4 businesses instead of one really profitable one? Well, I don't think that that's a black or white thing. I mean, I mean, shit, Trump, how many businesses Trump got? How many businesses? I mean, hey, whatever you can get your hands into, as long as it's profitable, that's all that matters.
But
you know what I'm saying?
You see, okay, so it's not all businesses that have to be profitable. Right?
Yeah.
I have a media business because I have multiple channels.
Okay.
Right? I have a trucking business because I at one point in time I wanted to go into the junk business.
Right.
Right? So I have a junk removal company, but I've never removed any junk in my life because I couldn't stand the smell.
I love it.
But that I have a real estate company because I have real estate that invest in real estate. Right? So now my next company that I'm going to open is going to be investment into stocks. Right?
Uh-huh. Because
even though I invest into stocks, but I invest into it for my personal.
Okay.
So I can either do it on one of those companies or open a fourth company, and that makes money. So it's not everything got to make money. Some things is used for write-offs, and you can only have it for multiple years, maybe 3 to 4 years. Then you have to get rid of it and open another one. It costs what? $0 to open a business. You get a free tax ID. and you raise it with the Secretary of State less than $50 a year, and you got a business.
A business project will not get the green light.
I don't know how to answer that question. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like I said, that's a dumbass question. Sorry.
Well, I tell you this: no matter what they're saying, whether it's a bunch of businesses or one, this guy had. I mean, I'm gonna go with the person that's got the $1 million portfolio. So, I mean, evidently you're doing something right. So
exactly.
Yeah. So
you know, well, we all doing successful in our own right. It don't matter if you're making $1 million or I got a portfolio that's gonna bring me $1 million in a couple of years. But if you want to talk, he can get on a call. We can have a conversation instead of sending text with
the link is out there, man.
Right. Get on there and
we can chop it up.
Chop it up, right? Make your point instead of sending little comments like a biatch. So get on there and do it.
I love good intellectual conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it ain't got to be nothing fighting back and forth, but it's all about trying to get information out there. So if it's something that you feel like you can bring to the show that's positive, hey, you're free to jump on, man.
Do it. Like I said, I'm not losing money, so I don't care. I haven't lost money in 5 years, so I don't care, right? My goal is to help my brothers, you and the people who want to learn, to say, okay, well, if he can do it, I can do it. And
absolutely.
Like I said, it takes $1. You can buy a fractional share. It's not like before. You guys need to take Robinhood. Because of Robinhood, we can buy stocks and stuff without paying any money, right? You get a fractional share for $1. You can buy Walmart, you can buy Tesla, you can buy Bank of America, you can buy anybody with one share, with $1, a fractional share. And the next week you get paid, you put another $1 in there.
Exactly.
That's how you start. So it's all about making it a habit. When you get used to doing it, like you get the money, what the first thing you do? You go brush your teeth, you use the bathroom. That's something that you do all the time because it becomes part of you. So once you start to do it,
part of your everyday life.
It becomes part of you. Yeah. When I get up in the morning, the first thing I do, when I turn my computer on, I check my portfolio. Okay. When I go to lunch and come home, I check my portfolio.
So you're not sitting there every day trading back and forth and all day long or whatever.
No, I'm not a day trader.
Okay.
I use tools that shows me what's good to buy. And like I said, right, they got the lower risk.
Okay.
And they got the higher risk. Right now, I'm in the middle, somewhere in the middle.
And tell the audience, like, you know, some of the tools that you use for that.
Okay, so the different tools that's free, like stock market, what they call it, Market Watch.
Okay.
It's the tools that I use. You can sign up, and they have a paid version to where you pay, but you can go there for free and do it for free. Yahoo.com, Yahoo Finance, they offer information, right? Even in the brokerage that I put in the description in the videos that I use, Robinhood, M1, Moomoo, and if you open an account with Moomoo, they can give you up to 15 stocks for free, but you might have to deposit $100 there for a couple of months, and then after your 15 stocks settle, you take your $100 out, and you still got 15 stocks that they give you for free. Webull does the same thing. So there's a lot of ways. You just have to make sacrifice, right? If you don't sacrifice, you can't get anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to start somewhere.
Yeah, and that, you know what? One of the main reasons why I wanted you to come on the show today is because I don't hear this a lot in my community. You know what I'm saying? Like my other friends from other communities, they've been doing it for years. You know what I'm saying? But I think sometimes when you see someone that looks exactly like you, or you can kind of resonate with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this ain't no dude just trying to scam anybody. I mean, the brother even said at this point, he's willing to help you guys for free. You hear that? Gratis. So definitely hit him up, man. I mean, even if you got a couple dollars a month, like you said, all it takes is $1, you know? So I love that, man, you know, and that's even with me, right? At the level that I am, brother, I I give so much stuff for free. You know what I'm saying? Like guys come down. It's guys that charge people to take them around Cartagena, do other thing, console fees or whatever. Anybody that's part of the YouTube gang that's asking you a question, they've never heard me say, "Oh man, I'm gonna charge you to do this" or whatever. Now, eventually, maybe that'll come, you know, but right now, you know what I'm saying? That's not something that I'm really interested in. To me, you pay me back by giving me a like or giving me your subscription. You know, that means a lot to us channels. And that's why I'm trying to promote other brothers also. And we all grow at the same time. And like I said, man, your channel does not reflect the amount of subscribers that you have right now. So definitely tell the people again, what's your channel, how they can link up with you.
Well, guys, it's Dividend Passport Bro. It's pretty much what it is. I'm a passport bro, and I invest in dividends, right? So I own real estate, but I want to be a cash millionaire, not a building millionaire. I want to be a cash millionaire and have, you know, money in the market that I can pull whenever I need to, right? So
right.
What I invest in dividend. And of course, like I keep saying, you can't do it all in one day. You can do it in 4 to 5 years. Much risky. I about to say más, like I'm speaking Spanish. Much
right.
risky, or you can do it in 20 years. That is much safer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's a lot of ways to do it. But
absolutely,
you have to start. My main thing is I tell everybody, start. Open your brokerage account.
Just get started. You know, and
put
that's the thing that I
put
love.
Whatever the minimum is in there. That's all you need to do.
I love information from different sources, and the way I look at it is that like the life. I mean, I'm sure he's very knowledgeable, or she. I don't know which one it is. You know, very knowledgeable in this or whatever. You're very knowledgeable, whatever. Hey, as long as you're willing to share it, you know, and it's good information, then I'm all for it. You know, and we can have different opinions on things or whatever. Because some people, like he or she said, I don't really like telling my clients to check their stocks every day, whereas you check yours a couple times a day. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I mean, everybody has a choice, and everybody knows what their risk level is, or what they're able to risk. So I like hearing it from different points of view for sure. You know, but definitely,
it's my money, right? I don't have nothing else. So that's like I check it 3 times a day, 5 minutes every time I check it. So roughly it's 15 minutes. The only time I really spend a lot more time than 15 minutes when I'm making videos, because I'm kind of showing my portfolio and I'm making sure that I don't have my full details showing and stuff like that in my video, so somebody can try to get to my stuff. But I try to show it as fast as I can and then move on to where I use it. I use a dividend tracker also. They have a bunch of them out there. Some of them really good, and you have to pay for those. Some of I think the most expensive one is about $500 a year, I think. And then on the low end, you know, you might have to pay maybe some of them is like $50 a year, but you have to manually put your information in there. So they have different ones. You have to use the one that best suits you. And then some of them will have, like I talk about, the dividend aristocrats and dividend kings. You know, they will have those stocks in there that you can go and select from and invest in there. So there's a bunch of things out there to help you. But the main thing I keep saying is you have to start.
That's it, man. I mean, no matter what, I mean, even with this YouTube thing, I remember talking to Ronan, and I was like, dude, I'm not into the YouTube thing or whatever. And he was like, nah, man, you just need to get going. I'm like, I don't even know where to start or whatever. Then he said, just start. He was like, it doesn't matter if you mess up. Who cares? You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And now I think I'm around 40 subs from getting monetized, you know. So it's like that brother believed in me, and I took his advice, you know, just like I'm going to take your advice on some of the jewels that you've been dropping today, man. I mean, that to me, that's just like priceless, because a lot of people, when they make it, it's like, I made it, forget the rest of y'all. You know what I'm saying? But for you to come on this show, man, and actually want to share game with the Travel Brothers, I love it. I love the name Dividend Passport, bro. That's awesome, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I made a video, I think it was back in 2000. When was that? 20, I keep saying 2020. When I first got into dividend, I think at that time I had maybe like $2,000 in my account.
Right.
And if you watch that video, I was talking mumbling and stuff over the call, trying to make a video and stuff like that. Still chopping up. But I was so excited to tell my boys, yo, bro, I got $1. And they look at me like, nigga, what? They're like, and most of my friends are African. Nigga, what's wrong with you? It's like, you have about $1. So as the year went on, I stopped talking to them about it. Because every time I would say something about, oh, bro, go up, move here, move here. So now I don't say nothing about it.
Wow.
And my income is almost as much as what I make in my regular job.
Without even touching the
principal.
The principal, yes.
Right. And they're growing every year.
That's crazy, man.
In 10 years, crazy. From making $75K a year, I'll be making over $300,000 a year.
Wow.
Just reinvesting and don't touch the reinvesting the money.
Right.
To grow.
Right.
I'm spending the money now. So it might be 200, 300, 100 something, but it doesn't matter because
bro,
more than enough than what I need to survive.
Yeah.
And with all the tax loopholes for expats and having dividends and owning properties, there's so many things to write off.
And so definitely, if you guys decide to do anything like this, make sure you get a good CPA. You get you a good CPA. Yeah, that's priceless right there, especially somebody that knows about the loopholes of living overseas or doing business overseas or things like that. So yeah,
legal loopholes. The legal loopholes.
Hey, they made the laws. I didn't make them, right?
Yeah, the legal loopholes, because some of those guys, they're just trying to get your money. They will mess you up, and then in return you have to pay.
Right.
That happened to me.
Right.
When I was much
you can
younger.
hit me up. I know a guy, man. He's a CPA, has a business actually in Atlanta. And if anybody needs a good CPA, definitely hit me up and I'll get you his information, because I'll tell you, that guy got me out of a mess, man. Well, it wasn't really a mess, but I was retired like my last year, but I let my ex-wife claim me. Well, it's funny because some of these women, they're like, she made a lot of money a year, right? As a travel nurse. And that year, I think she made like $300,000, but dude, she did not have any withholdings out of her money.
Exempt. She probably did exempt.
Huh?
She probably did exempt. So when it wasn't taking any taxes.
She did something, but I'm like, how do you not realize that there's no taxes coming out of your money? So anyway, now that tax bill is hers and mine because she claimed me. And man, that brother said, no, we can get you on that, what they call it, innocent spouse or something like that. And man, he got me out of that. And I think I owed like $200. I hurried up, paid that, man. But knowledge is power. None of us know it all, but at the same time, there's always something to learn. And I'm always trying to learn, man. I'm learning in this real estate game. And I love like kind of exchanging ideas, and sometimes I'll tell people my ideas just to try to get some feedback or whatever. But at the end of the day, something that you said earlier about like you were excited about what was going on, and I've been through the same thing, man. I've been so excited about Colombia and the whole YouTube thing and trying to grow that and grow the Airbnb, man. And to be honest with you, man, I get no love from my former friends, hardly.
I mean, that's a good thing. That's a good thing, right? Because one thing as you grow older, not only older, but as you become more established, you drop friends along the way. Because when you move in tax bracket, you have to remove yourself from certain people. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I got some videos I can show you, bro. I keep proof. Everything you can put on the internet, of course, because I'm, my friends, most of the guys are married, they got wives, they got kids.
No, we ain't trying to put nobody
on the internet. But you can take a look at it and be like, okay, well, we got 50 of them lined up. You go pick 2, pick 3, and you chill out.
Right. Hey,
we ain't talking about going
everybody. Look, even a millionaire has their vices, right?
I mean,
but you know what?
I'm not millionaire yet. I'm in the process. I'm not there yet. I'm in the process.
Well, they always look when they say millionaire. They don't always look at liquid. They look at the whole portfolio. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a thousandaire right now.
That's all
You know,
good,
I'm a
man.
near, but not a millionaire.
A near. I love that. I love that. You know, he making sure he speak correctly in case one of them exes is listening. You know?
I ain't worried about. They can't get nothing. I can't worry about them. You know what I'm saying? My baby is 18 months. The oldest is 30.
Nice.
So there ain't
Wait a
nobody
minute.
getting.
Wait a minute. We ain't gonna let that pass by. 18 months.
Hey, you know, like I said, I love.
Oh,
I
Edward, come
love.
on, man. What?
Hey, I got a 30-year-old woman at home. You know, she just
Oh.
turned 30.
And
My
you're
daughter
51,
18.
right? You're 51?
I'm 51, gonna be
Okay.
52. But like I said, I go to the gym. I ride my bike 5 days a week. I do 10
Nice.
miles minimum. I go to the gym
Okay.
twice a day, 5 days a week
Your
when I'm
health
home.
is your wealth. Listen, fellas.
I get my checkup once a year when I'm in the US. I get my checkup
Okay.
in Colombia once a year when I'm in Colombia. When I go
Okay.
to DR, I do a check there too because it costs little or nothing. So I do 3 checkups a year because you know it costs little or nothing here. It costs little or nothing there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I
Absolutely.
do
So
that
you
every
already
year.
you got your Sedulia?
No, I've been dragging my feet.
Sedula.
My daughter's a citizen. I got a bank account. My daughter's a Colombian citizen, so I can get my residency off of her. But we started process, and I was missing some documents, and I had to go to Bogota, all that stuff, and I just said, no, hell with it. I'll do it later.
Yeah, I had a company in mind. So if anybody wants to come here full time, holler at me, send me an email. And I'll hook you up with the right people that can get. I got mine all done within a month. So you got to get like a background check. You got to get like a doctor to say that you're healthy enough to travel back and forth in Colombia. So it's definitely worth getting if you're going to be over here full time. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're just visiting, you can stay up to 90 days with no problem at all. You know, so
but
it's all about just getting the knowledge out there.
You have to stay like a year. I mean, you have to come at least once a year, right? If you get it. If you leave the country, I think you have to come back. Like the US, you have to come back at least once a year, something like that.
Yeah.
Or twice a year to keep that status.
Yeah. So pretty much in Colombia, I mean, as long as like for me, they only gave me a year, so they can give you up to 3 years. They gave me a year, and then it expires in November. So right now I'm working on my renewal, and hopefully they'll give me 3 years because they charge you. It's like a money racket, man. So they charge you the same amount even if you have to do it every year when they could approve it for 3 years. And it's just random because I know guys that don't got nearly the qualifications that I have to be over here, but they get the 3 years. I'm not hating, but that's just how it is, you know. But that's definitely something that you guys can look into, and I'll get you hooked up with the right people for sure.
I can do it with my place, with this apartment. I can do it with the apartment, but I don't want to do it with the apartment because I don't want to deal with the similar issues. I can do it with my daughter, who is a Colombian citizen. As a parent, I can get that 5 or 6 years, and then after that, it would be a permanent Colombian citizen.
So what did your adult kids think about when you told them they had a little sister? You know, just curious.
Oldest, because I got 3 girls before the baby. I was one a boy, so and I'm still trying to get another one. So you know what I mean. I want my son. Right. So my oldest 2, when I told them, you know, you got a sister coming, they were like, okay, daddy. That was it.
Wow.
Now my 18-year-old, when I told her, she was like, daddy, ain't you too old to be having some damn kids? And I was like, how the hell you gonna? So I was a little offended, right? I said, your mom just had twins, and she's like 47, 48 years old. But you talking about your daddy, I'm a man. I don't have to carry, baby. I just got to put it in there. You know what I'm saying? I just got to deliver the load, and she got to carry the load. So but now for a while, because she was the last, she didn't want to talk to, she didn't want to be bothered with her sister. Now, when I go a day without calling her, she just called me not too long ago, talking about I called my sister and she's not answering the phone. Her mom not answering the phone.
So you know, I know a lot of brothers they're curious about this, right? So at your financial status right now, would you do the same thing in the United States versus what you just did in Colombia with getting another child?
Hell no.
I kind of knew that was the answer, but you know, I said I'll ask him anyway.
Dude, hell no. No. I look, I'll tell you this, right? I had friends, female friends, that would tell me, Edwin, we just gotta go through the process and you just use your whatever to give me have a baby.
Right.
And you don't have to worry about the baby. And I told the same that I just told them. Hell to the no, no, no. It's not happening. No. Because you got to think about it. If I'm not going to some sperm bank and selling my sperm at some sperm bank, and I don't know my kid.
Right.
Then to me to give you my baby, and I know that's my baby, but I sign my rights away to my kid. What kind of dumb shit is that? Plus, if you decide you're like, no way, that's the dad. He got this stuff. I'm gonna try to claim some of that for my baby.
Right.
Which if I have a kid, they're gonna be in my will to get some of my stuff. Whether I support them early or not, they're gonna be in there because I know that's my blood.
Right.
You know, but to have a kid in America, 20% of my income
is a no-go.
You make my pressure go up.
Oh man, you know what? I actually got a good friend of mine that he's never had any kids in the United States, right? His businesses are in the United States, but he actually has a whole family here. He has 2 children. And he said, man, I would never have a child in the United States. And he gives her $500 a month. And bro, you would think they hit the lottery, man. Like she loves him. She's happy with that.
Dude.
Whereas you try to just give $500 a month for 2 kids in the United States, especially the status that he's at.
You already know because you live here.
Right.
Because my girl, she want to go back to work. I told her, I said, you can go back to work, but you're going to be mad because when I'm traveling, you can't go.
Right.
So when I'm traveling, I'm like, okay, well, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm going to DR. Oh, I want to go. Well, you got to go to work. So that's not my problem. That's your problem. But she's like, when you go to that damn place, keep that women away from you. I'm like, girl, I'm going to work. I'm a businessman.
Hey man, look, I'm going through the same thing. My girl decided recently when we first met, she wasn't working because her mom had cancer. So she took off about 9 months to take care of her mom. And now that her mom's passed away, she went back to work. And so she's like, so are you not going to travel? I said, no, I got to do my job. YouTube is my job now. So
yeah,
I have to travel.
And you follow YouTube, whatever YouTube goes.
Yeah,
if I need to see the beat in Punta Cana,
I got to go get content, man. So yeah, we laugh about that, you know. But I said you decided to go to work, and it's, you know, it's really hurtful because that girl works her butt off. She's educated, you know, has a degree, but she probably makes $550 a month.
That's
and
good.
That's considered good
over here. That's good, dude. I got a lawyer friend that out here. Oof, she is delicious. Okay.
He said delicious,
but she don't make a lot of money.
Right.
The last time I went to a DR, she was my business partner traveling with me to DR. And we spent a week there together.
Right.
When I go, I'm looking at other properties. I'm looking at investments.
Right.
To grow my portfolio as far as real estate goes. Because I don't want to just invest in stock.
Yeah.
I always invested in real estate before I even got to stock. Right.
Right.
So I was and overseas in the DR, I can put down 40% and the bank will finance the other 60. Easy.
Okay. So he just dropped another jewel. So in Colombia, everything that I buy here, I have to pay the whole entire thing in cash.
Yeah, it's cash.
So all my properties here, I paid it in cash. But you just said something that kind of tweaked my interest or whatever. So what is it in the Dominican Republic they require?
So in the Dominican Republic, if you go into like let's say the building apartment, 50,000, 80,000, whatever. If you go to that developer, they got that on their document because they have a percentage that you have to pay at a certain time.
Okay.
Once you cut that 20%, I mean that 40%, the developer then will assign you to a bank, but you also have to have a credit score of, I think he said 680.
Okay, so they use our credit score system.
They use Equifax, but they pulled me through Equifax International.
Okay.
When they pulled the last time,
I never knew that there was a Equifax International.
They pulled it to Equifax International. That's what showed up on my credit report.
Okay.
Equifax International, and I only had to pay 40% of whatever the cost is of that property. By the time I didn't buy the particular property because I figured they were giving me gringo prices.
Right.
You know, because the guy, it wasn't one of the ones that would be advertising where they got the price listed and all that stuff. It wasn't one of those. You know, it was like, oh, I got this nice property over here. This one is 180, but this one is like $200,000. I'm like,
okay,
but they're identical. They're in different locations, but they're identical. So why did one cost a little bit more than the other one? Because one was newer, but still, you know.
Yeah, I think that there's companies out here, man, that they look at properties over in other places, like overseas, and they put a website up. Because I notice on those websites, the prices are ridiculous. But then when I come over here and I'm dealing with the local people, it's totally different. Like it's a different price, different everything. So those guys are just making money and they're not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? So if any of you guys, like I said, out here that's interested in property in Colombia, if you contact me, I will definitely get you the local rate, not some gringo price. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, for me, honestly, just, hey, a nice plate of chicken wings or something is good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not really my thing, but I do enjoy helping people and helping, especially my passport brothers and guys and gals. You know what I mean? So definitely, if you're interested in anything over here, my girl, she knows all the realtors. She knows how to get you the local rate. You can get, I'm talking, man, you can get properties over here, 20,000 condos. You can get 40,000 brand.
That's how I hit you up. Remember that? I hit you up when I saw you were looking at some property.
That's right. You did.
That when I hit you up, that was some other channel. I hit you up, like, we got to get together. I'm like, shoot.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to show a lot of stuff in the barrio. Like I said, I know it's not popular and it doesn't get a whole lot of views and everything, but I feel good about putting out information like that, you know, that a lot of guys don't get a chance to see because they're only interested in the tourist areas. But pretty much Boca Grande and Castillo Grande, that area is kind of burnt up now. You know what I'm saying? It's overpriced because of the tourism, you know, but you can get some good deals out here in the barrio, man. And what I've learned is that as long as you're not flashy, as long as you just like my man said earlier, he dresses down, you know, I do the same thing. You know, I used to be one of those guys suited and booted every day in the United States. But since I got here, I'm pretty much dressed like a beach bum a lot of times, unless I go like out to dinner or something like that. But you know, you can blend in and out here, nobody's going to beg you or what. That's what I love about it. Like nobody knows that I'm a gringo because especially in Colombia, that's one thing I didn't know. A lot of the people look just like any regular African-American. You know what I mean?
They might can tell the way you smell sometimes because the smell.
Yeah, man, I don't know about that. But yeah, they probably can, but
they can tell and our skin look a little, going out in the sun a lot.
Yeah.
So our skin look a little smoother than the guys that here to walk around the heat and all that stuff. They used to that.
Yeah. Those guys, man, they work their butt off, man. For that little money, man. I'll put it like this. I'll tell you how good of deals you can get out here. I've had a construction crew working since I've been here, and it's cost me about $500 a week for payroll. You know, and this is like six to seven guys at any time.
That's deep. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if I can do it, anybody can do it. You know what I'm saying? If you got a little bit of money sitting around or whatever, and like I said, this Airbnb game in Cartagena and Medellin, it's the biggest thing. You just gotta have somebody to be able to get you the local rates, you know, because if you try to go through one of the realtors, everything up here is an upcharge.
See, so maybe you're already doing this, but you need to open up a construction company in Colombia. Maybe you're already doing it.
You know, it's funny. I talked to the guy today, my lead foreman, because he wouldn't normally get that business. So he actually made a deal where he would give me a percentage of whatever he does if, you know, somebody wants to do a build. Now I'm not gonna throw 20% on top of what he charges. He's gonna give me 20% out of his cut. So let's get that straight. So you're still gonna get the best rate that you can get down here, as far as, and the best prices rather. But yeah, definitely, man. But you know what, man, I want to thank you for coming on and sharing this knowledge. Anybody, let me find the link again before we get out of here, so you guys can make sure that you follow him. There it is right there, man. And like the brother said, right now he's giving free consultations. So hey, man, if you stayed in here with this chat, you gain something from it. You know what I'm saying? Where he's gonna hook you up, you know, because like I said, a lot of stuff is just, knowledge is power. And I'm not a person that think that I know it all, but I like to surround myself with people that know more than me. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like water seeks its own level, but I want to get to that next level. So I'm interested in people that know more than me. You know, when you think you know it all, it's like you done it. I'm sure there are some people that could teach you something. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's all about sharing knowledge, man. But man, Edwin, I want to thank you. I look forward to hanging out with you, man, while you're here. And thank you guys for tuning in for Unc Jay's first live stream. You know, I feel it was a success because you know what I'm saying? I know some people that get on live streams and they got one or two people, if none, or just talking to the screen. So that's me, right? Like this, man. It's a good feeling. Just, I mean, even though it's been averaging around 30, 31, I feel like for a first stream, and to not even give you guys any notice that I was actually going to go live, because at first we were just going to pre-record this and then I was going to post. I was like, you know what? And honestly, it was just that fear. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to jump in, you know. So you guys have made me comfortable enough, huh?
We ain't even talk about no booty or nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I mean, and to have this many people in here and not talking about that stuff, you know what I mean? Hey, it's coming, but today was something different, you know. And like I said, man, your channel, I was interested in it. And like I said, I believe that we all can make it out here, you know, and we just, you know, share platforms and information and whatever. And that's what it's about, man. And if anybody has an idea for a good show, hit me up at Life of Unc Jay. And hey, we can chop it up, man. Do anything you guys are interested in, because I look at it like this, man. It ain't always about what Unc Jay likes. You know what I'm saying? If the people want something, hey, I want to give it to them. You know what I'm saying? Just like I feel like it's a need for guest-friendly housing here in Cartagena, so I got to give it to them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, instead of just giving the money away to somebody else, but definitely. Follow this brother Edwin, man, at the Divided Passport Bro. Follow him, like and subscribe to his channel. You know, check out the videos. He's got a lot of gems up in there and a lot of jewels, man. So Edwin, man, thank you, and I'll see you probably in a couple hours, man, and we'll have dinner or something. And thank you guys for tuning in with Unc Jay. We'll holla.
All right, brothers.
All right.